First of all, are you all members of the WhatsApp group? Who is not? Judith, you're there. I've seen a lot of posts from you. Who is not? If you are not, please give your number to Richard. It's a very active group. You will have a lot of opportunity to exchange information, to read about what others are saying, but also to say what you want to say and share those ideas. I think we also need a Facebook group. Because you know with WhatsApp, you can't follow up old posts. But if you're on Facebook, you can read up things in a much more systematic way. Now, on that group, I suggested one thing which has not been followed up, I think, properly. I have an idea. As you know, Bkda has struggled over the years to mobilize resources. As an association, we need to have resources in order to function. We need, I don't even know how this event was funded, maybe Gerard will tell us. Somebody must have paid for us to be here. We've had drinks, we've had food. Now where does money like that come from? I've suggested that members begin to commit themselves to making regular contributions to Bkda. Now, why would we make regular contributions? What purpose would that serve? I put up an illustration, a very simple illustration. We're a big community, at least 100 of us, minimum. Now, if each of us, say if 100 people contributed just £15 per month each, that would be £1,500 per month. If you multiply that by 12, you're talking about £18,000 in the coffers of our association. Now, how do we remain relevant as a community? It's good to meet, it's good to talk, it's good to exchange all these ideas. But relevance also comes from doing certain things, high impact things. And those can't be done without money. We have an executive which is very active, very visionary, very positive. They want to do things, but they must have money to do those things. Now, if you have, say half, if it is not 18,000, assuming you have just £9,000, and you identify a project to donate £9,000 to that project. It is not a mega project, but it can have an impact. It could be as small as roofing a classroom in a rural school. But if people in that village know that members of Bkda and their friends, it doesn't have to be Banyoro, if they know that we have made such a contribution, they will be energized. They will listen to us more. For example, I see days all the time talking about Bkda mobilizing, running up and down. Now, if we had a project and we said today, this year we're giving you £6,000 for a kingdom project, tell us which one it is. That would energize us. It would give Daisy a voice inside the kingdom. They would begin to see her as somebody who really has a community behind her. They would listen more. So I'm appealing. Let's move. This is not just membership fee. In the past we've said paid £20 membership fee, which by the way, people don't pay. Treasurer, how many people have paid membership? Can you tell us? 9. Out, including Judith. Now, this year, Judith has been able to pay, which is what she's saying, including me. What about last year? What about the year before? You paid, okay. Good. But who else? Is the question. I always pay. Even this £15 which I'm suggesting, I've already set up my direct debit. Every month, Tara is getting my £15. And I know at least one other person, Stephen Katurambo, has set up his. I don't know who else has set up. I won't ask the treasurer to kind of name. But I think it can be done. That is my appeal. It can be done. And my appeal is, let us do things, let us say things and then do them. That's how we will have impact. And that's how we will energize others to join us. So that is one. The other project, which I'm still banging on and on, is a cathedral. Bkda Get Together diocese is a relatively new diocese. It was carved out of Bkda Get Together diocese, as we all know. And the new diocese wants to build a cathedral. The church that we have is too small for the growing number of Christians. A number of you have made pledges, which I'm very grateful for, and a number of people have said they are giving me the money this month. Even Judith is giving me the money this month. My question is, who else is giving me their money this month? Peter, you're giving me the money this month. Who else is my own sister, Alisa Gozo, she's giving me the money this month. Please clap for her. Okay, so this is a really important project. A church is spiritual, it's not physical, it's not one way you're going to get children going to study and get degrees or people getting vocational qualifications, but it is part of us, it's part of our faith, and it's part of our community. So please, those of you who made pledges, I'm expecting them this month. I'm going to Uganda in December and I want to take the money with me. Those who haven't pledged, please give me your pledges. We have people from different areas of our country. However, it's a privilege and honor to be here. Madam Chairperson, the representative of the Bunyoro Kingdom here, the ambassador, the organizer, General Nyakana, ladies and gentlemen. I feel very honored to be actually, as I speak now, I'm in Bunyoro. This is Bunyoro now. I'm very privileged. One of the issues I want to raise as the son of the soil, I would like to preach unity among us as the Wanyoro. When we are united, Bagamangu Abahaga Koraki, Gati Gufa. The other day we hosted our grandfather within our region. We were invited by the representative. When we were upon the organization, I did not see many of the faces here. I felt my heart started bleeding. I asked myself, where are the sons and daughters? I saw, however, there are some familiar faces I saw here. There was Judith, there was the chair lady. That's all. But and the Auntie Jolie was there. But where were the others to receive the heritage, cultural identity? So, and dress and to receive, to identify, to show the people here that we also come from somewhere. So I felt a bit disheartened. However, all the tribes, cultures, if you can read the history right from 1600, Bunyoro is the mother of all tribes. You start from the Abatembuzi, the Bachwezi, the Luo, Bunyoro, all other tribes subdivided and rebelled from Bunyoro. So we have to be proud of Bunyoro, and I urge everyone that we keep this networking, and I will make sure that every month I put my input to make sure that whoever has any input to contribute towards the development of this networking is very interesting. The other last year was the North America tour. I made sure I met a couple of
young people who are towards the development of Bunyoro. I met some young people in Montreal. I met some young people in Illinois. I went as far as the Calgary, where they produce oil. So they were very positive young Banyoro there. I even met some Banyoro who are pilots. Yes, now Banyoro pilots who are based in New York, they are based in Dallas, but they are hiding there. So I said, we are setting up, we have to network and bring everybody's profession and contribution towards the development of Bunyoro. So it's been a privilege, I'm very happy. And more especially, for me, I'm married from Toro. I've been very positive towards the Toro issues. The other day we had the king of Toro about 3 years ago. We met, I was on the Toro Development Committee. When the king came, we used the king's presence here. We contributed £60 each of us. We raised incubators for children in Fort Portal, about 5. We used that opportunity. So I said, why should I get lost in Toro? So let me have an opportunity to get youth food in our Bunyoro.
For us, we do respect these young people. They do things different from us. And every time we tell them something, they say, you don't know what you're talking about until when they make a mistake, when they come back to us. So Melissa, please come and tell us about yourself.
Good evening, everyone. If it wasn't Uncle Jared coming home yesterday and saying, "Mel, you have to come to the event," I probably wouldn't have been here. So thank you very much for inviting me. Just a bit about myself. I think Uncle Jared just touched the surface there. Basically, let me get interactive. How many of you have young children, whether they're 30, 25, 17, 18, 16, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Perfect. Okay, so how many of you are, have instilled in them that they should go to university? Yeah? Okay, should do masters? Or have the idea that they should do masters, should go to university? Yeah? Anyone think differently?
Yeah.
You think differently? You have kids?
No.
Okay. Anyone else think differently? You do? Okay. Okay, the reason why I'm touching on that is because I am a graduate. I was blessed enough to graduate with a social science degree in 2013. And since then, I went off and worked with a company called Foxtons, where I was in property. And it was very, very challenging. Today, this is my, story. But yeah, so it was very challenging. I was working 12 hours, Monday through to Saturday, sorry, so 6 days a week, 12-hour days. And for most parents, they'll just say, well, it's normal, you get a graduate job. Am I wrong? You get a graduate job, you're supposed to work, you're supposed to, But I thought differently, just naturally, I did. I just felt like that wasn't the way life should be. And I'd always thought of investing, I'd always thought of becoming a businesswoman. That's how I envisioned myself, that's how I saw myself. So I went off and I decided to leave the job with no job. Okay, so to any other parent, if your children did that, how many of you would probably want to kill them alive? Good. But you wouldn't, you see? And my aunts over there, they were like, don't leave the job, how can you leave the job? And to Carol, you're laughing. But yes, how can you leave a job when you don't have another job? You know what, it was a leap of faith, and the first thing I thought to do was to buy land. I invested in land, and I own land in Uganda. So that was the first thing I did. But you see, had I not taken that leap of faith and trusted myself, despite what my family thought, I probably wouldn't be moving fast forward, which I will be getting on to what I'm doing today. So I invested in land, but I felt like it's not making me the money that I want to make and see as soon as possible. I like the good life, just as everybody else would, but I don't want to just imagine the good life. I actually want to live in the good life. So that means not wake up for anybody else, but wake up for myself, wake up and work for myself, and I know I will achieve that. So at my current stage, fast forward, I left another job. My aunts are like, this girl is always in and out of jobs. But because I don't get comfortable, I don't believe you should be comfortable. If you become comfortable, there's a problem. And this is where I believe that there's such a huge gap, like I'm now going to touch on to what he said, there's such a huge gap between the young people and the older generation. And it's not to knock anyone, you know, we completely love you and we respect you, but that's not how our world is today. You are finding yourself in thousands of pounds of debt. I made the decision not to do my masters. I made the decision not to go through and complete the conventional route and go off and work in United Nations or wherever else, because actually when I look at how much my time is worth, how much effort I put in every single day, just my everyday thinking, I start my day at 6 a.m. From the time that I wake up, that's my salary. So when I deduct that, I'm actually not, and how much effort I put into a company and how much I'm making for the company, and I only earn just over 1,000, that's not right for me. So I am in a position with my business partner here, Tommy, and we've set up, or beginning to set up, a go into property investment. So I always loved property, and I'm now currently working with a property investment company. And myself and Tommy have been, you know, grafting every single week pretty much since July. And we go off to Birmingham, we're learning our areas, we are working numbers. Tommy's an accountant by trade, I obviously have property knowledge, so together we work really well. But where I feel like the gap, there's such a huge gap, is when you sit and you explain your dream or you explain your vision to your older generation, to the older generation, your aunts, your uncles, and it almost just feels like there is such a disconnection, and I think that is such a huge problem. There should be a lot more young people in here. If you ask me, there should be a lot more young people, and there's so many young people who have decided not to take the conventional route, who have such big dreams and who are actually successfully doing well, and we need the support of our aunts and our uncles, whether it be capital, whether it be knowledge, whether it be mentorship, you know, just to trust the process. If we can trust the process, we need you guys to be able to support us as well. The truth is, the world has changed. Why would I find myself in almost £50,000 of debt when I'm only earning just over £1,000 by the time I leave university? So when I think about from that vision, I've got big dreams within a year to be completely and entirely financially free, and I stand here and I say that quite confidently. Financially free, to some people you might not understand that financially free is I don't have to wake up and go and work for somebody else. That is, I wake up and I'm working for myself from sun up to whenever. So that is the vision. And of course, you know, if anyone is interested in understanding a bit more of what we do, we're here to explain that more clearly, talking about different areas. If anyone is thinking about, oh gosh, yeah, you know, probably some of you are actually sitting on your own money. You know, that's how much knowledge we have. But you see, sometimes when we don't break out of our shell, and you don't allow us to break out of our shell, we just continue the same cycle. And I think that that's what needs to be broken. That there should be more young business minds. They don't teach you that in school, but there should be more young business minds. And I know plenty of young business people. And you're right, you know, we should have a network of young people where when we come together, we're making business, we're making money, we're excited about the business in which we're venturing into. Because we're expanding and we're learning and we're exposing ourselves into things that we probably hadn't imagined. So for me, that's probably been my best institution, life. Was university a good route? Maybe, but it doesn't, you know, sort of the fact that I have thousands of debt. But it doesn't mean to say that I won't be able to pay that off either.
I'm not Ugandan, Nigerian. Sorry, please. But it's good to be in the Ugandan community. I'd like to come to Judith's house, Melissa's house, chill it out.
Yeah.
I'm also into property as well. Currently setting up a business, trying to look for properties and develop our capital. How many people have got like properties or money sitting in the bank at the moment, or mortgages or anything? Yeah. The banks aren't giving you a good saving or interest rate on your savings. You're sitting the money in the bank, it's earning 0.5%. It's not good. Property, put your money in either capital growth in terms of property appreciating value or looking for rental income. It's going to generate 6, 7, 10%. It's much better than 1% or 0.5%. Doesn't make sense. So me and Melissa are going into that now. If you want any more details or any more information, please feel free to talk to us. Thank you very much.
I am the ambassador or representative of Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom in the UK. A week ago, there was such excitement when we hosted the King of Bunyoro, Dr. Solomon Iguru. He came into our midst. I can only share with you the joy and the messages he left. One, he has launched an office in the UK. As we speak, if you have any issue, if you want to bring tourists, visitors, volunteers, investors to Bunyoro, your first point of contact is 123 High Cross Road, Tottenham, N17 9NR. You can reach me on 074 0241 3945. The Kingdom of Bunyoro Kitara @gmail.com. When we launch the office, it's not only the office, a physical office, but it's what is going to happen. The King gave empacos to a Muzungu, to a Jamaican, to a Guyanese, to little kids. He really wants us to uphold our culture. When we lose your culture, you lose yourself. You cannot be such a powerful, successful person without identity. You need to be proud of yourself. Here we are. We have Bunyoro, we have friends of Bunyoro, we have brothers, we have sisters, we have husbands, we have uncles, we have aunties. So the King would like us to be one. Let's look at our ancestors. Let's look at what made Bunyoro such a great kingdom. And right now, there is an influx. Everyone is rushing to Bunyoro. And what are we doing? We are tied in UK. What are we doing here? Let's go home. Let's go and invest. We are the investors. We are the investors. Bunyoro needs properties. They have discovered oil. There are no hostels. There are no hospitals. There are no hotels. When there is a convention in Bunyoro, we have to house people in Kampala in order to go to Bunyoro in Hoima for a convention. Melissa, I'm so happy. I can't wait to see those structures getting up. Within 3 weeks, you will have plenty of properties and investors ready to occupy them and pay you good money.
Today when I walked in here, is 2 gentlemen that just left. One of them is from Kenya, another is from Uganda, and one of them is from Togo. When I saw him walking here in the building, I thought, I know this gentleman. Where do I know him from? It happened that we used to live together as a refugee in the Netherlands. That is about 17 years ago. They were seated right down there. And one of the gentlemen was sleeping on top of my bed when I used to live in the Netherlands. So that is so touching. Thank you, Jared, for organizing this event. But when I walked in here, it was such moving and emotional. Sorry, guys. My name is Samuel Kitwale. I run a security company. That's my main stream of business. That's what I do for a living. I love networking. There is a power of association whom you associate yourself with. And I would encourage everyone, just network and speak to the person next to you and get to know each other. I can't talk a lot of things. There is a lot that I can tell you about myself, but it's not about myself. It's about what I can add value onto an organization like this or an individual yourself. That's what is more important.
As you have heard, my name is Alisat Gonza, but today I really have just been taken by unaware. I was not ready to speak. I don't know even what to say, apart from thanking people to have made it for this day. What can I say? As I have said, I'm not ready today, but I'm very excited for this networking, and more especially Gerard and Mrs. Masebo. You've been so active. I have liked your good mornings, and I have liked the strength you've been.
I never respond. So how do we know you like them? You don't reply. You just sit there.
Oh, anyway, I've been replying where it is possible, but I really liked the way you always motivated us to, to get up and start talking. Another thing is that, I have a passion of really caring for people, physically, pastoral, and there is something in Bunyoro which I really want all of us to research in. In Uganda, they introduced support for the people, the older people, and people with disabilities. I know in some districts, people are getting this allowance. But in Bunyoro, I have been trying to talk to people. It seems no one, maybe if I'm wrong, I could be corrected. We need to go and research. The government released this money. Maybe if Bunyoro was not one of those districts to get those allowances, we need to know, to find out what is happening. I have talked to people in Kampala, they are getting this money. People in Ipiga are getting this money. People in Gulu, Soroti, they are getting money. But I was one time talking to my old mother, and I asked, do you get any help from the government in terms of money? She told me they just registered them, but they've never seen this money. So as we network, and people, especially Daisy, who is working with the kingdom, and is it Sam? I've forgotten the name. Ronnie. You need to research and find out how we can help our old people with disabilities. They are really suffering. And another thing, when I was recently at home, what I found out, we have all come from our families because we are in the cities, we are in towns, but we've left our old people to suffer back home. And whenever we talk, we don't think of these people. Who is caring for them? How are they being cared for? So I'm thinking, as we are thinking of network, we need to set up something, because I've heard it. People in Ghana, they started this thing. And actually people in Kigezi, Bushen, they've started looking after their old ones. How can we support these people? You find a home, there is a very old woman, there is a very old man, there is someone with physical disabilities or long-term illness, but no one is caring for them. I know we can set up something whereby we can go and look after these people. So I'm thinking as we network, let's think of how to care for our vulnerable people. And another thing is, I really need to use Daisy and other people who have maybe contact in the government. What is happening to this allowance? So those are my words. I just wish you enjoy your evening.